Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur AFIQAH binti AHMAD SABRI. My matric number is A18A0513. Today I would like to present my e-poster. The title is Factor Influence to Travel Behaviour on Transport Mode Choice by Singaporean Travel. Abstract. In many urban areas, traffic jam have become a big problem. Place that get a lot of attention from tourists, and the more people use private car make this problem even worse. The government has tried to get more people to use public transportation, but it has not worked well enough to change how people get around. So this paper is going to look at the factor that affect the choice of transportation, especially for Singaporeans who always travel to Johor. Now we move to the next part, which is introduction. According to Morlock 1995, say that transportation is the movement of people and all the activity of transporting goods from one place to another where the transportation activity ends. Transportation is important to the economic activity of the country. For example, can avoid market surplus and shortage of goods in the market. At the same time, transportation also has negative impact on individual and society, such as traffic congestion and pollution. Now we move to the next part, which is problem statement. Traffic congestion and air pollution are increasing due to the use of private transportation more than public transportation. Now we move to objective. Number 1 is to determine the factor affecting to choose the mode of transportation in terms of three characteristics by Singaporean traveller. Number 2 is to determine the factor affecting to choice of mode transportation in terms of personal characteristics during trip to Johor by Singaporean. Number 3 was to examine the factor affecting to choose the mode of transportation in terms of travel-based characteristics during trip to Johor Bahru by Singaporean travel. Now we move to part conceptual framework. There independent variable and have dependent variable. The independent variable is trip characteristic, personal characteristic, and travel-based characteristic. The dependent variable is the choice mode of transportation. Next, move to methodology part. Research design that researchers choose for this research is a descriptive design. The population of this research is Singaporean who always travel to Johor Bahru. To determine sample size, researchers use a Kerji and Morgan table to find the accurate sample size. 384 respondents or more are needed in this research. Researchers will use a sample random sampling for this research. Next, for the data collection method, researchers will use quantitative research by using questionnaire from Google Form. In the questionnaire, there are part A, B, C, and D. Part B, C, D use Likert scale. Last but not least, data analysis. A researcher use SPSS, descriptive analysis, reliability analysis, and factor analysis in this research. Next, we move to finding and discussion part. From table 4.11, it shows the KMO score is more than 0.5 for each mode, and the score implies that analysis can be continued further for all the given mode in the table. The Bartolo significance score is less than 0.001 for each of mode. It means that the correlation matrix result not from the identity matrix, so continue for further analysis. For figure 4.7 will show you the factor influence to choosing car, motorcycle, bus, and taxi. From this figure, researchers have summarized that the trip time, trip purpose, occupation, income, vehicle ownership, safety, and access time are the main substantial factor for influencing to choose the travel mode as for the Singaporean traveller during their trip to Johor. Now we move to hypothesis result. Hypothesis number 1, HO, which is there's no significant relationship between the three characteristics affecting the choice of mode transportation by Singaporean travel is accepted in this result. We can see the probability number is 0.290, which is more than 0.05. Next, hypothesis number 2, H1 is accepted. H1 is there is a significant relationship between the personal characteristic affecting the choose mode of transportation by Singaporean traveller. This can see by the probability number is 0.001, which is less than 0.05. Next, hypothesis number 3, HO is accepted for this hypothesis 3. Which is there's no significant relationship between travel-based characteristic affecting the choose mode of transportation by Singaporean traveller. This can see by the probability number is 0.06, which is more than 0.05. This is mean that HO is accepted. Now we move to last part, which is conclusion. In conclusion, with this outcome, responsible parties in the transportation sector can make the best decision to improve the public transportation service to reduce the usage of private vehicle on the road. With this, problem like traffic congestion and air pollution at the urban area will be reduced. At the same time, increase the tourist sector by provide the good service.